my whole thought process is I really like to bring sort of order out of chaos. I like project work. I like big projects or multiple projects that you're working on at the same time. So interim work really fits my skill set very well. Or a permanent role when it's with a very acquisition-oriented company or a PE house or something like that, where there's multiple transactions and there's a lot going on and you're trying to manage several different things at once. That's when I'm the most happy. Doing the same thing every day or generating the same reports every day or every week or every month or whatever, and sort of business as usual is just not that interesting to me. I've done it for a lot, and I prefer the sort of rock and roll of multiple transactions and things happening. And I just don't like to be bored. And generally the day-to-day work after a while seems to be boring. Most of the time I'm called in.
Yeah.
Or people want my skill set it's like two or three things. Either the company has grown so fast organically or large organically, they realize that what they've been doing in the past isn't working, and they need to get things in a better state of play. Or there's been a huge transaction and they either are hiving out a portion of the company for sale and they need to set up a whole separate treasury function, or they've merged or acquired a large transaction and they realize, oh my gosh, our footprint is not the same anymore. We're in places we've never been before, and we need to do things differently. I don't know how we're going to merge the cash of the two legal entities. How's that going to work? So that's when they call me in and I figure that out. So if I have to hire a junior or someone in the role that I'm vacating when I leave an interim client, I find somebody who's genuinely excited about Treasury, who finds it fascinating, interesting. Also somebody who's like a system hobbyist, because it's really good. I have some people who are so theoretical about all the wonderful things in Treasury and you bring in this socioeconomic and the economic thing. That is not going to get the job done.
Cool.
I mean, you need somebody whose feet are on the ground, preferably that. I remember once I was helping a client look for a treasury manager, and the person that they liked was very in his head, was very like, and because the corporate treasurer was sort of surreal as well, they really liked them. I said, you hire in your own image many times.
Yeah.
So I said, I don't think that person is going to be good at all. And unfortunately, the CFO asked my opinion. So I had to tell him. Oh, no. And I said, I don't think, because they they're a dilettante. They worked here, they worked there, not always worked in Treasury. This is not a Treasury professional. This is somebody who wants to try Treasury because it sounds interesting,
Yeah.
That's maybe not the kind of person we want.
So an excited doer, but not in your own image.
Yeah. Well, or in your own image, if that's what
if you're an excited doer. Yeah.
But we ended up hiring an ex-accountant who had very little experience, but was really, in the interview, was really excited about Treasury, really thought it was interesting, and was an IT hobbyist, because we had a very complex Treasury system.
Yeah.
So, and I heard 6 months later, he was like the god of all things Treasury. Being a Treasury consultant is a risky business, because I've been out of work 5 months and 7 months in my career, last 20 years. So both of those times are very scary, but I've always ended up finding a job. But I would say, if you have a passion for making things work, right. And it is a bit of a people job, although not the wider public, but you have to get on with the people in your group and all the people that you do business with. So if you can, oh God, bankers move so much, so it may be that you know, I have one banker that I knew at one bank, and now he's on his third or fourth bank. And I'm like, oh, hi, I know you, it is a bit of a people job and a relationship building job. So, and if you want to get the data that you need out of the systems of the company or the information of the company, you have to develop those relationships.